The Shield is arguably one of WWE's best factions in the past 10 years. They first debuted in the 2012 Survivor Series when they swiftly took out Ryback, and then for the next year and a half, they basically dominated WWE's tag team division, taking out anyone that they seemed to think they were getting in the ring. And then they started dominating WWE in the sense that Ambrose won the United States Championship, then they went on to win the tag team gold, which meant all members of the Shield had gold in their hands at the time. But it all came to a stop after one fantastic win at Payback over Evolution. It all came down to one man, and that man was Seth Rollins. When he took his steel chair, stabbed it through the back of Roman Reigns, and changed history. And fans have never forgotten that night. And no one could ever have expected it. But they did have brief reunions. Like 3 years later, they reunited in 2017 for a little bit. And then again, they had a reunion in 2018. But the last time was 5 years ago in 2019. For one final time. And it was probably the shortest time, but it was worth it. As we got to see the Shield, the last ever Shield fist bump ever. April 8th, 2019. Remember that day, because it was the last time you would ever see these men together. But what if the Shield had one final reunion in 2024? Here is my depiction of what might happen. Dean Ambrose has recently returned at the Royal Rumble, but didn't win the Royal Rumble, but in this case on Raw, he was having a match with Jey Uso. Seth Rollins ended up being in his corner. He was just as confused as anyone else, really. Ultimately, Dean Ambrose did manage to make Jey Uso tap out, which gave Dean Ambrose the win. Yes, it quite clearly says Jon Moxley, but for the sake of consistency, I'm going to call him Dean Ambrose. Anyway, Dean Ambrose picks up the win over Jey Uso. Before you know it, the next week on Raw comes along, and oh my god, is it a fever dream? No, they're back in the Shield gear. Yes, Seth's back in the tactical vest, and so is Dean, wearing his Shield outfit. Over the next few months, you will see Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins tag together. But one question is, where's Roman? Well, Roman didn't like the idea, so he basically wanted nothing to do with it. But in hindsight, meanwhile, Ambrose and Rollins were having a rivalry with tag team champions, the Judgment Day. The new Judgment Day. I uploaded it. And yes, it got quite chaotic. 1 week, Ambrose and Finn had a bit of a tussle, so Seth wanted to get involved, but the referee was having none of it and sent Seth to the back. Ultimately, Ambrose came up with the victory over Dominic Mysterio after a while. He's gonna do it. After that, Ambrose celebrated victory. Ultimately, it didn't matter that Seth was sent to the back. He managed to win by himself. However, the next week, both Rollins and Ambrose were up for a scary shock as they both faced The Fiend and Uncle Howdy in a tag team match. Oh boy, wouldn't that be nice? Ultimately, it was a tough fight against two of WWE's Faces of Fear. As you can see, it was a long one by the Charles Blood, but Seth forgot about disqualification and got the Shield DQ'd. Then they got ambushed by the Judgment Day the following week. And yes, it kind of didn't matter to them. Judgment Day thought, oh, we may have just cost the Shield, but not really. Well, Judgment Day clearly thought they won and got the upper hand. But the Shield was still prepared to go to battle despite the hiccup. Ultimately, during the match, Dominic Mysterio knocked out the official. So Seth decided to grab a steel chair so Dean Ambrose would use it on Dom while the referee was down and out. Ultimately, yes, they didn't see it, so that was good. And Dean Ambrose just decided to chuck the chair out like it never happened. And it didn't happen. Ultimately, during the recording, nothing unexpected happened, which is why I had to cut it abruptly, but okay. Ultimately, Dom looked like he was going to get the upper hand on Raw, but he very nearly did. Oh, actually, he won. I got that wrong. I was trying to remember what happened. He ended up winning. So the Shield were defeated that night. They were very close to winning, despite the distractions. But ultimately Dean slipped up. The next week, Seth took on Dominic Mysterio to try and avenge the loss for Dean Ambrose. But Seth unfortunately came up short as well. Dominic Mysterio managed to beat both members of the New Shield in the space of a week, which was impressive. Ultimately, Dom managed to beat two of the members of the New Shield. He was pretty much on a high for the past week, and he was enjoying himself. That enjoyance was soon cut short as Dean Ambrose came up behind him and ambushed him. Dean Ambrose wanted revenge for the previous week, and he certainly got it. It all led up to this big moment of WrestleMania. The first match at WrestleMania for the first time since 2014. Sorry. The Shield were together. This time, Roman Reigns was back in the idea, and he tagged with Seth to take on the Judgment Day and try and capture the tag team titles. They truly believed they would be successful. Of course, Dom and Finn weren't going to make it easy for them. This was a tables match as well, so they had to be mindful of who goes through the table first.
And at a combined weight of 390 pounds, the WWE World Tag
it came down to such a grueling match, but ultimately the Shield were officially back, and they made themselves known again by capturing the tag team titles. The Raw tag team titles, by the way. Where was Dean Ambrose? Why wasn't he at WrestleMania? Well, basically, Dean Ambrose was taking a bit of time off, but he was soon to return after hearing the news of the new tag team champions. This would forever cement them in the dominance of WWE for the future. This would basically announce that the Shield are properly back and ready to strike, ready for battle. Next week we saw Dean Ambrose suffering a beatdown, and Seth coming to Dean's aid seemed to be a good thing, right? It looked like, oh no! Another betrayal! Seth Rollins betrayed Dean Ambrose, not even 2 months back in the Shield gear, and Seth has basically put an end to it. Ultimately, Dean Ambrose would lose to Tommaso Ciampa, which Dean Ambrose would be surprisingly upset about. But surprisingly, didn't get his revenge on Seth this time, which was very surprising. But an interesting thing is, the next week on Raw, the World Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes, issued an open challenge to anyone in the locker room that would fight for the World Heavyweight Championship that week. Weird thing for Cody Rhodes to do, but he decided he wanted to change things up and issue an open challenge. The question is, who accepted the challenge? Was it anyone? Was it Jey Uso? Was it Sami Zayn? Was it Gunther? No, I can tell you who it was. It was Dean Ambrose who accepted the challenge. He wanted to prove himself and win the World Heavyweight title just to rub it in Seth's face and say, I could do what you could do, but even better. Ultimately, Dean Ambrose looked like he could do it, but Cody Rhodes proved a little too much for Dean Ambrose. Shown here. Dean Ambrose did put up a fair fight for most of the battle here. But ultimately, you know what was going to happen.
Oh, I caught him! Am I being Cody? Got the fuck up, who's talking? Okay now. What are you doing? You're shaking your finger and then getting angry.
I can definitely tell you Dean Ambrose was on top for most of the fight here, but ultimately he got caught into a crossroads, which ultimately put an end to that dream, and Cody Rhodes retained his title and moved on. But hold on a minute, Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank again and was going to cash in on Cody Rhodes. Was this the whole plan the whole time? Well, no one knows the exact motives behind this, but Seth did cash in that night on Raw, ultimately doing his best.
Oh, Seth's in position, using a pedigree against Cody.
Cody Rhodes took him out.
He's a shit. I don't know why I can't beat Cody Rhodes for some reason. I've got to finish it now. I'm going to use it straight now. There you go, finally stumped his brains in.
Probably the best thing for him.
Cover. Seth's the brand new champion!
Seth became the new World Heavyweight Champion. And I can tell you now, And a lot of people were happy about this, especially Dean Ambrose. But one man who had been missing from the picture would soon arrive upon hearing this news. Next week on Raw, Seth made his first entrance with the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. A mixed reception from the crowd, shall we say. Some loved it, some hated it. They probably hated it because, you know, they were expecting a good run with the Shield again. Not the case. Just a repeat of 10 years ago.
You know what a good thing is? I'm gonna go out the you know what a good thing is? You can actually use the apple and spread it. Just the details. That's why I said I wanted to play as Carlito. I wanted to use the.
But of course, Carlito couldn't get the job done. And Seth would pretty much ease his way to a victory over Carlito. Despite having won near fall against Carlito, Seth nearly lost his title at this moment. But ultimately, a man who has won every single title there is to win in the company knows how to fight for them all. Another stomp to Carlito. This one would end the match for Carlito, and Seth would successfully complete his first title defense of the World Heavyweight Championship. And he was buzzing with it. But hold on, Roman Reigns returned to Monday Night Raw to take out Seth. And look, he's grabbed the championship. Oh no. And knocks Seth with his own championship. What could this mean? What does Roman want from Seth? Maybe a match in the future, perhaps? I have no idea. The next week, Seth came out to basically scout Roman Reigns. The next week on Raw. I have no idea what he's scouting him for. Maybe a match? Maybe just because he wants to just watch his old friend? Maybe? Sketchy, but alright. Seth was just gonna sit down and watch Roman Reigns have a match, I guess. Later in the match, that wasn't the case. Seth Rollins came bolting into the ring, taking out Roman Reigns, and basically calling off the match, thanks to the distraction by Seth. Roman was the best pleased, and now it turned into a one-on-one match between him and Roman Reigns. Roman wasn't pleased and began hammering on Seth straight away, eyes fixated on him, wanting to get revenge for what he did for the second time in nearly 10 years. And it looked certain Roman was going to. It was even once to the sky going up. And Seth ducked under a spear. He ducked under a spear. No pedigree this time. He just jumped over it and turned it into a stump. Clever. Just so clever. Roman didn't tap out and just continued beating Seth for a little while longer. So, next week rolls around and Roman Reigns is having a match with Braun Breaker. These two were going at it hard before Seth Rollins came along and tried to sabotage the match. But however, this time Roman was prepared. Ended up reversing Seth Rollins, spearing Seth, and then out of nowhere just basically finished off Braun Breaker at the same time as speared Breaker, but ultimately put Breaker away. All close. He needed a second spear to make sure he was done. Roman picked up a victory hot off the energy from those spears. Ultimately, he was ready to get his revenge on Seth, and eventually accepted Seth's challenge for a match at Survivor Series for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman had all the energy going into that. Jay came off the top rope, missed, and Roman speared Jay to pick up a victory over his cousin. Yes, so he did, and then Seth appeared, attacking him with his own championship, getting revenge on what Roman did to him a number of weeks ago. This match right here was the big one to decide the stipulation for their match at Survivor Series. It was also still a cage match. The stipulations were, if Roman Reigns was to beat Seth in a steel cage match in any way, including walking out the door of the cage, escaping the cage, or by pinfall or submission, then Roman and Seth would have a one-on-one title match at Survivor Series. But if Seth were to beat Roman Reigns in any of those ways, as I just mentioned, then the match would turn into a triple threat match with the Ambrose involved. Either way, both of those options seem quite exciting, but it all comes down to one thing: whoever the victor is in this match. It doesn't matter which way they win the match. It all affects Survivor Series either way. So, let's get down to business and see who wins the steel cage match then.
Roman for a Superman punch. Seth, Roman just to dodge the first Superman punch of the match. Drop kicks. The Roman put them down early. Go for another one. Yeah! Seth is rocked. Once I've been in these steel cage matches before. I've been in so much. They beat Randy Orton in a steel cage. In Extreme Rules 2015. Trying to escape the cage, trying to salvage a one-on-one match against Seth, but Seth catches him. Using the leg to his advantage, but kicked away by Roman. Is Roman going to escape the cage? No, he goes back down to Seth. Roman's going to make an early escape and keep the one-on-one match. For a pedigree, Once it's all gone, back to Roman and Roman. He's been drop kicked by Seth and Seth in the corner again. Fighting to keep Seth in the corner. Oh no, Broken by Seth. And now he will try and escape the cage to make it a Shield triple threat. Maybe he won, he goes for that. He goes off the side of the cage. Is it enough? No, it isn't. Seth knows what he has to do and storms Roman Reigns. Or is he again? He doesn't want us to get in the cage. He wants to win my pinfall, it seems. Weird choice of strategy, Seth. Now these two, they're training blows here. Blow for blow, you would say. These two are brothers, not long ago, and now they're against each other again. And Seth wins him out. Rollins is calling for the door. He wants to get out of the front row this time. Oh no, blow back up. Hit the pedigree. Here he goes. But Seth knows Roman will not go down easy. And now he has. Roman's now up and run. Roman's can escape. Roman's leading out the front door. Reigns is done. It's gonna be a triple threat match. It is. It's gonna be a triple threat match. I mean, that is a place you don't go in normal matches, but Rollins went well and ultimately used the Rollins to his advantage. And now, in Survivor Series.
So finally, we reach Survivor Series, and yes, it is a triple threat match between all three members of the Shield. Kind of like what it was in at Battlegrounds 2016, it was a triple threat match for the WWE Championship, but in this case, Dean Ambrose was champion at the time. But in this case, Seth is the champion, and yes, before you ask, I have no idea what's on Roman's face in this. I just picked an alternate attire that was updated and it just had that on it. I don't know why. Maybe it's some sort of texture glitch or something. I have no idea what went wrong there, but you're just gonna have to ignore it. I'm sorry, alright? I've tried to update a lot of the people for this video, right? And I made a few changes to both Dean Ambrose and Seth. I just changed their attires for this match because it is a big match. So I thought I might as well change their attires up just for this match. Let's see Seth's attire then. What's he wearing today? Oh look! I've brought back the old white and gold attire that hasn't been seen in 9 years. Oh look! I generally just wanted to bring it back and I wanted to see him fighting it. Just for this. I actually do like it. But in my opinion I prefer the black and gold. But this one's alright too. I know a lot of people prefer this one. And yeah, you're right. It is actually good. But these are my favourite in my opinion. So yeah, you can roll with that. Yes, and indeed was for that prize there, the World Heavyweight Championship. All three members of the Shield going at it. What a match this is gonna be! Come on, let's do this thing!
This is a big match in the history of the Shield. Roman Reigns and Superman punch by Reigns. The candlestick caught by the Evans. Stop trying to. He played the face of the match. Oh! Dress off myself the right little roll and brought the chair. Down the wrong way, champion. It's seconds to come one week, the retain the championship. Either way, this determines who's the most in this one with the shield as well. Oh, three of them. They're in three of us down. And Rollins and Swifty like that. Oh! Using the gun to his advantage. And taking out Dean Ambrose too. Taking out both of them. Who formerly called brothers. Chair. Out of the corner of something. And now, goes for the pin on Rollins. He won the jump. Oh! Oh! Surprise! Again, Rollins needs a side move. I can do that one. There it's in the championship. And Dean Ambrose waits on the pin. It was okay, and tries to get the tap out. They win the championship. Roman brings it up. And then tries to do it. And uses it in all ways. And massively between them all. And look! There he goes! He brings something in a big way. This is Bobby on the line. All for the championship. Only a one count on the reins. Oh! Come on, right. The champion to retain. Not quite. Oh! Somehow Reigns dodges. Always gets the knees off a big set. Spin! Always gets the knees off a big set. Spin from Reigns to Ambrose. And now, it's going to be one for Seth too. Oh, is there? Ambrose back in again. Oh! Ambrose back out again. Hold it. Go on the champ. Not quite yet. Seven. Ambrose has been jumped in by Rollins. And now I'll go. One hand deserves to be. Coming back in with a steel step. Stop. Come on, champion. One is not won quite yet. Oh, so take the championship. And then he did it. And be certified. And be the most successful member of the show. It's the emotional song here. Something new. Alright, we're going to play to Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Ain't giving up tonight. Trying to win with Rollins tonight. But ultimately, Seth Rollins had a game plan.